We are excited about this year because we think that just like every year, it's an amazing year ahead for real estate.
Yeah. We're going to rock and roll. It's going to be a good year.
So we're going to do the statistics for you guys for January 2025. And after Lance actually does his statistics, and if you're on the live part, we're going to play a game, which you guys over on YouTube will see in a separate video. But it's going to be fun. We're going to get a chance to see how fast Lance reacts to some questions around Kona.
They called me on my way over here an hour before I left. They're like, hey, we're going to do a game today. And I'm like, I'm in. Let's go.
That's what I like about Lance. So stay tuned for that. But let's also start the new year with something new and different. So tell them what we got here.
Today, so we have had lemon lime. I think they're seltzer before, but this is a lemon lime milkshake IPA, and we have never, to the best of our knowledge,
I've never had it.
The more I read it, I don't know how much I'm gonna like it.
I know milkshake IPA. What the hell?
Well, I mean. Think about it. You drink a Corona with a lime in it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Eric,
so Eric's going to do it too.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Crack. Ready?
Here we go. Crack, crack. Okay.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay, here we go.
Ready?
That's interesting. It's like a lemon.
Lemon lime milkshake IPA.
Very lemony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a lime in a Corona. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, kind of. Yeah. You know, people have asked us through the comments, does Ola sponsor us? And we always joke and say we did approach them, and the marketing manager did say she was going to help us, and then never followed through. But we continue to act like we're somebody.
Yeah. It could be sponsored by Ola.
Yeah. So if you have another kind of alcoholic beverage in the Hawaiian Islands that you'd like to have us promote, please do so. Or maybe not so alcoholic.
We are open to that.
Okay.
All right, let's jump into it. And in the spirit of the game you're going to make me do, let me just kind of ask you quickly then. Residential home sales, Kailua Kona, year over year, December month only, up or down?
Down.
You're right. You got it. Down. That a 5% drop in home sales on this December compared to December a year ago.
Okay. Yeah, because it seems like it's been slow, like in our lives.
So,
yeah.
So, quickly going to ask you, year to date, up or down? That would be the entire year of 24 and the entire year of 23.
Up.
Up. Very good. You're on. 100%.
Hey, woo!
We are up 14% on year to date.
So it just was like up and then went near.
Well,
like
it only dropped off 34 a year ago and 32 last month.
Okay,
so
not bad.
Yeah, it's really close. So I think with the election and things like that too, could have put a little pause. That could have hurt a couple of them.
This
year. So
Too many decided they were going to buy a house.
34 versus 32.
Yeah.
But condo sales, up or down?
Okay, I think we decided
month over month, December.
Okay, month over month. I think that would be down. No, okay, because I know that it's been up. Didn't you say it was like up 64% this year? It just seems like
we had something weird.
Down.
Yeah, I forget what it was because we didn't get together last month. That would have been 2 months ago. That's a long time ago for me to remember.
Okay, because there's a lot of inventory on the market right now.
Ton of inventory.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking maybe you're pulling back from there.
And it's interesting. So 168 condos on the market this morning when I left.
168, which is normal.
We should, like back pre-COVID was 135 was normal.
Okay. So but then when it was like
seen this high before.
Okay, but not for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So okay. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. So from 14 to 23 this year. So that was a 64% increase
in sales. Okay. So I'm not too sure what's going on out there.
I know it's the condo market. It's something we really, really got to watch really carefully and close now because we're going to get to the pricing and we're going to talk about that too. And looking at year to date, it's actually down too. It's down from 323 to 318 for year to date, so it's a 1.5% drop.
Okay,
so nothing huge. Okay, but it kind of feeds into what we really want to watch this condo market. We're always talking about. If we got to keep an eye on things, if we got to worry about something, this is going to be the interesting part. Is going to be the numbers in the residential median price.
Okay, I see that. Okay, residential median price is probably I say it's month over month.
Yeah, December over December.
Up.
Up. And you're right. It is 39% up over what it was
That's crazy.
December of last. Insane. So a year ago it was at 999.500. So call it $1 million. And this January it was 1.39 million.
Wow.
So close to 1.4.
Wow.
I think that might be one of the higher ones we've
Okay,
seen.
I'm going to put something on this little note here, though, you guys. Lower priced houses are not coming on the market. I have friends that are looking for houses under 900 and hardly anything comes up.
You know.
Okay, so because the price of houses is going up.
So no, because I got somebody in the price point of say 900 also myself, right?
Okay.
And so we're looking at things. I'm looking what's out there, and there's in the price point I ran like 1.9 to 900 to 1.3 just to kind of see if somebody came off the plane today and said I got $1 million, show me what I can buy. That's what I would be looking at. So I looked at that, and there's when we look at some of the things like what used to be an affordable home was Cuyahoga Estates, or we had the ones what's the one out there by the airport,
Makulani. I mean, Lakai Makai.
Lakahi Makai and Polani Estates, and really most of the stuff there's 925, there's 975, and then there's 1.2 and 1.25 and things like that for those homes. So that was our affordable homes. So there's no more affordable homes coming on the market. You're right, but the homes that were affordable are now the pines and Kamani trees, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're not selling. Well, there's a lot of actually coming up in pines right now.
I just happened to, there was a home that just sold last month in Kamani Trees, to mention it. You guys have been following us for a long time. I lived there for almost 20 years. My wife and I raised our family there, and I'm a fan of it.
$350,000 there.
$219,000. And it sold for $450, and then it sold for $550, and then it sold for $750 last time I sold it. But in that little neighborhood, one just closed for $5 something.
What?
It was so the meat of this one was in 2008. I had that. It was for sale.
Mm-hmm.
I had it. The guy was a realtor, and I had it in escrow. And he knew the process of what it took to do this. It was a short sale.
Yeah.
I had both bank approvals, and he threw it into bankruptcy on me a week before we closed.
Oh.
So that home has sat there, one of those ghost, what do they
inventory
call
experiences.
them? Not mummy, but zombie
homes.
Zombie homes, and it sat there. So lots of rumors. Somebody moved into there illegally. Ooh. And stayed in there for a decade.
Whoa.
And longer than a decade.
Rent free.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rent free.
And that's not giving you guys any ideas.
No. And you know what really kind of, because I was a homeowner there and I sat on the board of directors, and all of a sudden we started getting a bill for that person's trash service. Mm-hmm. I'm like, not only was he not paying the HOA fees and not paying and moved in there illegally, he called up to complain because his trash wasn't being picked up and everybody else's was.
Oh, what nerve!
So we did shut him down on that. But that's all we could do because there was no ownership. It showed that it went to the bank, and then all of a sudden that was pulled out of the history. You can't find that in the history that actually went to the bank.
Wow.
And then it came back, and then so I watched it sit there as a zombie home with somebody living in there for well over a decade.
Wow.
Well over.
So they finally got this one that's
finally got them out,
yeah.
And it went on the auction block and it sold. So it wasn't in the best of shape.
Okay.
Had somebody in there
is this the one? Is this the one with the cracked foundation as soon as you walked up?
No.
That's not the same one? Okay. That was one that went on auction, too, a while ago.
Okay. That's a real common, just so you know, I've sold a ton of homes in there, and that was a common phenomenon that was happening there.
Okay.
The story I was told, the more than likely what was happening, they just had the rebar too close to the outsides mm-hmm. of the concrete. The salt air was coming in, creating
expansion,
moisture, right? Rust, expansion, and cracking it out. We got guys that come in and fix that. It's really not a big deal.
Okay, just so you guys know that, I looked at it and I thought this is like a horrible structural problem. And the guy that we showed, he's like, oh yeah, you can probably fix that, no big deal. I'm like, what? So yeah, I guess you just dig it out and just put a new one in and put the concrete back together.
Get the right people, because then they'll dig it out, they'll sandblast it, that little area there, and then they'll treat the rust to stop it from rusting more, and then put
Covered
it
by
in
good.
with a
Okay.
not a big deal.
Because we do have people here sometimes who say, I don't want to have to pay full price for a brand new house. I'll take something that needs a little bit of work.
Mm-hmm.
And so how much work are you willing to do? And I was looking at that thinking, oh, that's crazy. But I guess not. So
No,
there you go.
less than $500.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, well, depending how bad it is.
Yeah, well, that was down the side of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, maybe it was 1,000, but yeah, it's
Okay.
really not
Okay.
a big deal typically.
Not,
so.
not a damning thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then.
So condos. What happened to condos
Sorry,
this year?
I
I know. We got, how do we get down that
know. Oh, we're talking about affordable housing. You said it was for $545. Yeah, okay, come on.
So Eric's rolling his eyes.
He's like, oh, this is how they end up here for 40 minutes.
So the median price for condos dropped 18%. So that's a big
That's
drop.
a big chunk, yeah.
Yeah, 570 last December and 464 this December.
Oh, okay.
So that's a big drop.
Yeah, because we were talking about, remember, houses on sale? Because
Yeah.
the list of sold was like 93, 94.
Yeah.
But that was only, let's say, like, like a 5% drop. So you're saying 18%, right?
On what the
What end of
median price
price
is.
is.
Yeah, the
Okay.
median price. We got a ton of leaseholds out there too that are
Oh, they're kind of messing it
affecting
up, yeah.
But I'll admit that if we follow you and I for seems like a decade now, I've always used Elite Ilani as our base point. What's going on? And Elite Ilanis have dropped from 450s into the high 550s down into the high 400s.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so that is real. So that's why I say we got to watch this.
Right,
you know?
right.
That's a real factual number.
Well, we're also getting phone calls from sellers. I think that they're trying to say, I want to get out before it gets. They're trying to do the whole, like, I got to go, but they don't want to say they're scared of the market. But they're also trying to get a price for their condo that no longer is going to be able to purchase like that. So
sadly, that's like the one thing right now that if you bought it 3 years ago to make money on it, that's not happening right now.
Right. And that's what we've been talking to people lately who buy the houses in the last 3 years. So.
And the big thing is, we've always hit this. You've heard me talk about this for a long, long time too. Is a lot of people get here 3 years and they're tired of watching the kids grow up on the mainland, and
Health
they
issues.
watching the baseball games and the grandkids, not the kids, but the grandkids, and that type of thing. And so they make it 3 years and they move.
Yeah.
And so if you're at that 3-year point, and it's a condo, we got a little bit of difficulty. Right
Yeah.
now with
Well, a
that.
lot of people bought a lot of houses in 2021.
Yep.
So.
In looking at a number on the market right now at 168.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying it's time to sell my condo.
But the biggest part of this too is the insurance. The whole insurance thing.
Well, and that's just it. Like, okay, so one of these condos that we're talking about, they're getting a $30,000 assessment. So they're like, all
Who's getting a $30,000 assessment?
Do I tell them?
Well, you can tell me off camera if you want.
Yeah.
I'm going to Honolulu tonight to meet with legislators tomorrow and the next day, and we'll be meeting with our state senators and our state representatives. And one of the biggest hot topics right now is the insurance crisis. So,
yeah. Well, you can bring those numbers with you.
Yeah.
That people are like, I can't afford this, and I have to get rid of my condo. Right.
Trust me, I've been having that conversation. I've been up. I have read. We'll just change. We'll go down such a deep rabbit hole there. So that's been a big problem. That's why it's selling. I hope to have good positive information in the next month, and I will see how tomorrow's conversations go.
Okay, we're gonna let you guys know.
Next couple of days.
Okay.
All right, so absorption rate, we all remember, quick explanation, below 15% absorption rate is a buyer's market, above 20% is a seller's market. A few years ago, we were at 90%. We'd never seen anything like that before.
That's crazy.
We slowly went down to 50% and down and down. So we are sitting for North Kona, we are at 20.62%. Which is what an average time was for 5 years before COVID. Kind of just with barely touching into a seller's market.
Okay.
So it's still a seller's market, and
by the hair of its chin.
Yeah. But that is good news. It makes for a more even type of negotiation when things are happening, and
right.
So that's
numerous open houses, opportunities to ask questions, maybe do a little you know, I need the appliances
Credits,
switched out.
yeah, things
Yeah.
like that. So it
Yeah.
gives us. It's good to. It's never good when there's that extreme of one market to the other.
Right, where people
They
snap
have-
their hands and say it's as is and shut up if you don't want it. So,
I remember in January of '09, I think it was, North Kona sold 7 homes, and that was it.
that was it for all of North Kona?
That was it for North Kona on homes. Was 7.
Wow.
So that's a scary market.
Yeah, yeah, then nothing's
It's
going.
like
Yeah.
when nobody's buying. So
Right,
that was interesting.
And just to tell the audience that the National Association of Realtors had said the forecast that unless the interest rates went down, you're not going to see a bunch of people selling their houses across the board as they hang on to these interest rates. However, it looks as if these investors, and maybe because they're small time investors, can't hang on to these changes that are happening with the HOA fees, and they're saying it's time to get out. I mean, would that seem
That
like
could be the 168 that we
right? Because I think
condos
they're not moving because the interest rates changed,
yeah.
right? And so
Yeah, it's hurting. So now you've got everything against you. Now you've got HOAs that have skyrocketed. You know, Elite Ilani was 400 before, and now it's 800. High sevens. You might as well call it 800.
yeah,
Those kind of things that's what's killing that market right
yeah,
now.
it is.
And sadly, it's going to be part of the new normal.
Yes, it is.
You know,
but you know what though? This is what's going to happen as the HOA goes up, the prices have to come down, and there's a bunch of sellers trying to get out of that because they see that coming. Right.
That's what they say. And I've heard that for a long time from people. You know, I even heard it from legislators a couple of years ago. Well, if we do this and the prices will have to come down. Don't you know what, drawing a blank, getting old, your cap rate is, you know, and how you figure that stuff out? And I said, yeah. And I said, and I tell people all the time, if you're coming to Hawaii and you think you're going to make money on a rental, you're going to be lucky with 50% down to break even. It's just, we're not California. We're not Washington. We're not these areas.
Right.
It's a different market here, and it's not so much based on cap rate. It's at the point where we kind of will tell people a lot of times now, we're selling real property. We're not selling a business.
Right.
You know,
Even though
that's what-
STVRs are kind of a business, but just like a business, there's risk.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
So,
risks and-
but also just so you know, you don't know this, but I'm going to tell you. So we have
that's
actually
something.
had, we have
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Well, actually, so we've had actually 2 or 3 younger investors calling us, and they're looking to see if things pencil. Right.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're having Travis Green come on Thursday, and not only is he going to give a mortgage update, he is going to actually take a real life example and pencil it on camera so people can see what an average condo in Kona is like, and all the stuff that you have to add on, the property taxes, the HOAs, all the stuff, and see where does it make sense to either you have to bring in all cash, 50% or whatever, and also like the occupancy rate too, like that whole thing.
I got a unicorn down in my bottom half there.
I'm not saying that it's a great opportunity. I'm saying that getting to know what you need to look at before you do it is very important.
Exactly.
And then
It is
knowing all
important.
the stuff, knowing that the property taxes have doubled in the last 2 years.
Yeah, property
I mean, there's
taxes
things that people don't
skyrocketed,
realize,
the
and
HOAs have
then also that
skyrocketed.
you have to pay more as an investor to live here than if you were buying a
Right,
single family home by yourself.
Yep.
So it's all the little things that happen to be in Hawaii that you might not think about. So if you guys tune in, at least we'll give you some information about the things you must know before investing in condos in Kona.
Yeah. And I just, you know, I'm going to go back 21 years now. When my first place I started working at, we were in the hotel lobby of the original Outrigger Keoho.
Oh, that's right.
It's been torn down now. And we were in that lobby. And I was young and new at this. And people would come walking in the office. And this was in 2004, 2005. And they come in and say, I want a condo that I'm going to pencil. And that, and I'm young and dumb and I'm out looking, and I showed them so many things, and we went round and round and round. Finally, after a couple of years of driving people around and learning the hard way is that it's 50% down is going to break you even. Hopefully, you're just offsetting ownership costs.
That's exactly it. And also, some people some people who've been calling us, they want to come and stay here for a month, and then use the rest of it as an investment opportunity until maybe they move here full time. Or they retire into it, or doing something kind of like, it's almost like I'm having a pre-made vacation condo that you get to go into. But there's people who are leaving that experience because they said with all the things that are happening right now, they would rather just come and rent a hotel for a week and not have the headache of renting a condo
and owning all that stuff. Yeah,
because it is a business. I mean, you have to have a property management company. You got to add that into the fees. So it's just, it's just there's a lot to it. And so I just want to make sure that people understand what they're getting themselves into when they think that they want to do that here.
Kimmy and I just looked at a mortgage in Ilani, and we were looking at it was going to be like just $3,000 something for the mortgage, and then $800 for the HOA fees, and then you had power and insurance and everything else.
And next thing you know, you're looking at $4,000 a month. And then people wonder why the rents are going up.
Yeah. And why they're selling. And why? Because they can't get that kind of rent.
Right.
And a lot of these, like you were talking about, these investors that aren't ready to weather the storm of a $500 a month loss.
Right. Yeah.
That's huge. I mean,
and there's no guarantee it's going to come back.
No.
So.
No.
Okay. I don't want to be Debbie Downer in 2025.
No, I know.
But,
yeah, so I remember back 18 years ago or something when Cassidy M. DeCo HOA fees were so high, I just thought it was insane anybody would ever buy there. And people sold in there, and I didn't. And now Kim, my wife, is known as the Casa Queen because she sells a ton of stuff in there because everybody else's HOA fees caught up with them and surpassed them in some areas.
Yeah.
And so it's it's interesting.
Yeah. But you know what though? I've also learned what we think is affordable, what we think is a lot of money, to other people is nothing. We were talking about if you were in Southern California and you wanted to have oceanfront property, it's a hell of a lot more expensive than $500,000 and $1,800 a month to live there. So I guess it matters what market you're in, how much money you have, what's your investment portfolio. So I always kind of go to like this couple that's coming. They're probably like in their late 40s, and they're like, oh, we want that 15-year investment so we can like retire into it. And so, kind of going through the numbers, if it's going to happen in 15 years, I'd like to believe there's going to be appreciation in real estate. So,
yeah, and we have had it for decades, so
I just don't think we're going to see
them down, but we're
remember 2020, 22, So anyway, in terms of single family homes, cooking off the market,
on sale,
what's on
going
sale?
On? This is single family home. Let me jump over to that. Single family home. Sale to original price is 97%.
Okay, so there you go.
So 3% on sale. There's 3%
on sale, but that's not a falling down, market crashing kind of price. So yeah,
the lowest was 75%. The highest was 106%.
But
median was 97.
Yeah.
Days on market, median was 39 days.
Okay.
Average was 85. I'm seeing us closer to that average.
85.
Yeah, I think we must have had several. It's 60 to 70. I'm seeing more in what I've had listed and what I'm seeing. So
okay. We got ours off the market within 10 days.
Yeah, that's good.
And we had a 30-day closing.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it was like
you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah. 2 open houses. It would have been nice, that classic case a long time ago. As soon as you whisper home for sale, I've got 4 buyers.
Of the 32 homes that sold, 16 of them were cash, and the rest were most of them conventional with 1 1031.
Yeah,
two 1031 exchanges.
Okay, so you're not working with all investors and people who are like selling all their houses on the mainland for a bunch of money coming here with cash. So mortgages still work.
Half is that's a lot of cash buyers, I think, for a market. When you look at other markets across the mainland, I think that's pretty high.
Yeah.
All right, condos. What's happening in condos? Condos, 95% on sale, or 5% on sale. Yeah.
Okay.
So 58 days is a median days on the market.
Okay.
So got that.
That's like that's a lot for a condo. Yeah. Okay. And then
cash
the price
was 22 sold, 12 were cash. So a little over half.
Yep. So so the median's 486.
486.5.
Okay.
Which is significantly down from a year ago, 570.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Wow.
All right, that's it. I think we got I had some stuff, but we got other things to do. I was going to talk. I just did a news show, an interview on there about tenants and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Can I just say one thing really quick?
Yeah.
One of the things that we talked about on this news interview was people. If you're coming in and you want to rent, for your people out there that want to rent, maybe come in.
Yeah. We have a few of those.
We're the second highest in the nation for rental scams.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that just to bring out that they didn't quite talk about on this news interview, we can post a link to that if you want to see it. But the They didn't bring out. You should Google the address. Take that street address, Google it, and see if you see it for sale. Also, and some other things, and they will come back with things at you like, "Oh yeah, I fired that realtor, and that's why I'm selling it on my own now."
No.
And I took his pictures. No, call that realtor and talk to that realtor when you find it for sale. So, anyways, that's one of the things I want you guys to watch out for, because we do have people and never wire money on a home you hadn't seen, and tons of other safeguards.
Right.
That's it.
And you might want to go through a real property management company.
Find somebody.
Yeah, because if you're just getting schmo from Craigslist,
yeah,
you might. And also, I'll tell you guys, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. If you see a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house and it looks amazing for $1,200 a month, don't believe it.
Yeah.
Right now, those kinds of houses are still going for $3,000 for a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and a gentleman called me. He just got to the onto the island, and somebody had recommended. He talked to me, and he's like, "I'm looking for an Ohana," and my friend was renting her Ohana, and it's $2,500. And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, have you done any research yet?" And he's like, "Oh, not yet." And I'm like, "Well, you might want to get on this because there's not a lot." And he's like, "No, that's too much." And I'm like, "Okay, buddy." So yeah, I mean, rental prices are still high,
extremely high.
Yeah, and also it's when there was a person in Pines renting their 3-bedroom condo for $4,000 a month, and they got beaten by the internet. But the thing is, I was thinking, if those houses are now $750,000 and you have to do all your shit, it's $4,000 a month to own that condo.
Oh, so, yeah, all day more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they got huge HOA fees too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. So it is, be prepared for all of that before you come. And if you're working with a realtor, we can always help check that property address for you.
Yeah,
if
definitely.
You want to come in rent for 3 months while you look, reach out to one of us. Oh, what do we do for a living?
That's right. We sell real estate.
We sell. We're not just.
Well, and also Eric and I think that we've also helped people is that before 2020. Mm-hmm. We used to actually help people figure out how to rent to buy, and we would have to help set them up with rental houses because there were a lot of rental housing back then. And then people would say later, when they see us out in the world, they said, "Thank you so much for giving us information so we could at least make the move to get here enough to rent or buy." And so I thought, I just want to tell you guys, we are available for consulting. You can call us and we'll do a Zoom call with you and give you some answer some of your questions about what's it like to move to this island, live here, and also if you guys want those kinds of resources too. We've done a lot of guides, and I've written books. So reach out and join the Ohana if you want those free books. It's 365hawaiiliving.com. But also, again, if you want that one-on-one, I'd like to make sure that when people come, that they got enough information that they're not getting here and getting into trouble.
Yeah.
And also, we like to believe, too, also we bring in good people. So we teach you to make sure that you get back to the island, how to volunteer.